Okay, I'm gonna start again. Now, just repeat what you just said. How did you get your interest in telephones?
Okay, I grew up in Brockville, Ontario, which is where automatic electric phones were made in Canada.
Mm.
And we were talking about the little salesman sample there. He'd carry around one of each color in his briefcase, and those were used to show the customers what the phones would look like.
That is so cute.
Isn't it?
Because obviously that was
sample.
for when they were transitioning to that model. Because
Mm-hmm.
people wouldn't really be able to visualize the change from like a 302 to something like that.
Well, they had intermediate models too. They went for this over to these ones, which is the same as that.
And I definitely recognized the automatic electric had the 0 on the bottom.
You'll see a lot of automatic electric dials on Northern Electrics too.
That's right.
Because they were sold to the companies without dials, and generally the companies, when they went to dial, they would add whoever sold it to them.
So this was without a dial. I see that.
Dialless, yeah.
You pick it up and
Most
somebody would
phones were
answer.
actually, back in the day. Those two phones there, that bottom one was without a dial, had a dial added sometimes through the line. And these are all automatic electric phones. This is what was called an enter phone, was used for apartments and so on.
Oh, right, at the door, so people could ring whoever they wanted.
Each phone would ring, and I don't know what the code was. It was like star or whatever to open the door. So it was, it's kind of an interesting thing.
And the when you're a real collector, you also collect models by the colors, as we can see here. Dave is a real collector.
As much as you've got room for.
This is true. This is true.
And there is an interesting shot. That was an Island Tel shot that was done back when they were building the Queen Street Parkade in Charlottetown.
We actually were there the other day when we went to see the Ann and Gilbert show.
Yeah, well, this is next door to it. They were adding the fiber lines in between the two buildings.
Nice.
No, I believe the building on the right has changed since.
I was going to say, it doesn't look familiar.
Yeah.
But the parkades, definitely.
Yeah. So, and I got that last year from an ex-employee of Island Tel. And over here, we've got some business phones. We've got a tie system. I've got a Northstar 6x16 system, and I got two Nortel 1 Alpha 2, well, Northern Electric at the time, 1 Alpha 2 systems. They all work.
One of the things that I found interesting is that, and I'm sorry to interrupt, is that you have a lot more modern phones than we've seen at the Ellsworth Museum in Maine. They strictly have like early 70s and before. Nothing as current as this. But this is part of the history that's got to be preserved too.
That is part of the history, and that's history that's gone. I mean, Nortel is gone, and they produce phones for all over the world.
Yep.
Literally, they sold in the States, they sold in Canada, they sold in South America, and Africa, India, all around the world. So basically, I try to give a good representation of phones that were used here on the island.
Absolutely, I understand that you're preserving the island's telephone history. Did you create this board with all the different samples?
Yeah.
Wow. That takes a lot of time.
And I've got 3 samples that are supposed to be coming of the first 3 undersea cables to the island.
Oh.
They dug them up when they were putting in the new maritime electric cable. They had to remove the old cables first because they trench it. And they dug them up. I haven't got them yet. They've been promised to me. I'm looking forward to having them.
Nice.
And that is a 1240 switchboard. Now, it was used in Tyne Valley. It was the last switchboard that was taken out of service on the island. And that was December, I forget the exact date, but 1976 was removed from service. And it was given to the head operator at the time. And she passed away. It went to a collector down in Summerside for a while. He passed away, and I bought it.
Fabulous. They have
And
a few of these hooked up at the Ellsworth Museum,
Yeah, that's.
and
hooked
so
up too,
we had the
but
joy of
they
seeing
run
that.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We had the joy of seeing it in operation.
Yeah. It works with all those magnetophones.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
phone in the middle between the two windows
Right there.
Mm.
that is one of the earliest Bell Canada telephones. It was built in the Bell Canada workshops in Montreal in 1889.
Wow.
And Northern Electric wasn't even an entity till 5 years later. And they continued producing those. And of course, the Bell phones and went on from there.
Although it says property of Bell Telephone Company Canada, I think they're coming for it. Kidding. That's beautiful. Wow.
Now, off camera,